Beautiful and stylish icons have always been a source of inspiration. One of the biggest steps forward for female stars in the past was being brave enough to try new things. Fashion trends, like going braless on TV, which not only brought attention to a she had a free and open style, but she also questioned the strict social rules of the time. Let's look into it, those risky times when they changed the movie and fashion industries. The legendary Marilyn Monroe, who will always be loved by her fans, is not Marilyn Monroe for her. Not having a bra is not only a sign of beauty, but also of freedom and strong feminism. Her most famous moment was when she wore a dress with no clothes on. It wasn't a fashion mistake, it was a strong statement. You will never forget the scene at President JFK's 45th birthday party, where Marilyn wore a tight dress to sing "Happy Birthday, Mr. President" on stage, drawing all eyes to her. She wasn't wearing underwear because the dress was too tight. People were speechless when they saw the dress, which was sewn straight onto the body. Many people exclaimed in Marilyn Monroe, the woman who can make everyone look at her in just a dress. There was nothing more seductive for her sometimes. The dress was only a small part of her work, but it will always be a part of her. A famous actress that the dress was linked to her so much that it was sold at auction for over $1 million at Chanel in 1999, but the story of the naked dress doesn't end there. Kim Kardashian wore the dress again at the Met Gala in 2022, making people think of Marilyn's sex symbols again. Marilyn Monroe's life was not a fairy tale, even though she is known for her timeless beauty and charm. Marilyn Monroe lived a painful life because she was abandoned as a child. Even though she was a movie star, she never felt at peace with herself, but her life was always full of days she wasn't sure what to do. Fame and pain led to her death at age 36 in 1962, which left many people affected. There are still questions. Doctors said she died of a drug overdose, but was it really suicide? Or just another accident in her already troubled life? Marilyn still had a great life, even though it was short and tragic. As a feminist icon, a woman dressed in daring clothes and played dramatic parts took charge of her life. What's got to give stars Marilyn Monroe in the movie before she died? Well-known scene in which she wore a see-through bikini while swimming in a pool, but the movie was never shown. There are still rumors going around about the scene, with many fans saying that Monroe may have been fully naked in the moment, but she was fired from the set because she was late and sick. The movie will never be finished. Marilyn Monroe is a legendary figure not just because she is pretty or works as an actress, but also because she is brave and unique. Her image isn't just in pictures, it's also in the hearts of people who love strength and freedom. Even though she died too soon, the marks she left will always be there and live on in the minds of those who knew her. Who adored Marilyn Monroe's bare legs and sweet smile is still alive and well. A female icon who stands out. Sophia Loren, who is a Hollywood icon of beauty and power, always knows how to make people look back, even though she sometimes Sophia shrugged in front of Jane Mansfield's risky satin dress, just as she was when she showed off. One of the things that made her famous was when she debuted in the movie Boy on a Dolphin in Hollywood in 1957. The most important scene for her in this movie happened on a small boat in Hydra, Greece, and when it's hard to forget Sophia Loren's famously curvy body in a tight, wet dress. Her hair was wet. After getting hit by the waves and getting dirty, she became a new image of beautiful women. Picture of a seductively strong woman who never looked weak or fragile and Sophia Loren didn't hide the fact that she loved to show off her body in an interview with the New York Times in 2021. At that time, she had a beautiful body and great confidence, which made her one of the stars. With an irresistible charm, even though she didn't start her job until she was 16. From then on, she not only has played leading parts and built an image of being strong and sexy, which is a title that not many people can beat. Today, though, this fame doesn't always bring joy. Sometimes the loving looks become pointless. Sophia had to go to court once because her edited naked photos were being shared on adult websites, which made her angry. More than 79 websites, and that was just one time she had to stand up for her rights during her career, and of course Sophia Loren had plenty of exciting and interesting stories. From the set of one event she would never forget was when she co-starred with Marlon Brando in a kissing scene with his rebellious daughter. In a love scene, Brando made things hard for his co-star by biting Sophia's lips so hard that she broke them. Sophia had to scream in pain, but she wouldn't let anyone take away from her beauty. Take a place in people's hearts with well-known parts like in It Started in the 1980s and Baccio 70. Her parts show that she is more than just a beauty icon, they also show how talented and attractive she is. Sophia Loren was married to director Carlo Ponte when she was a person, whom she lived with for almost 40 years until he died in 2007. The two of them built a strong bond during their years together, even though they had many problems, and they are still together today, at age 89. Sophia is still one of the last Hollywood Golden Age stars, with her sure-of-herself charm and never-ending style. The American Film Institute has called her one of the biggest movie stars of all time. Sophia Loren is more than just a hot woman. She has had a life full of ups and downs and great success, and she deserves praise for it. Star, but an eternal symbol of Hollywood, where stories of bravery, skill, and beauty will always be remembered. Her steps continue to have an impact on those who come after her, motivating young artists and teaching them where beauty lies. Not only in how they look but also in how strong and brave they are on the inside. Jean Harlow was a Hollywood star who not only blew people away on screen but also won their hearts. By Jean Harlow, Jean only worked in the movie business for 9 years, but her bold dress sense and unmatched charm made her stand out. Had enough time to make her name well known among fans and become one of the eternal legends of Hollywood. Because of her beautiful platinum hair and always luxurious style, Jean Harlow became an important fashion star of the 1930s movies, especially Hell's Angels. People couldn't take their eyes off of the clothes she wore. Howard Hughes's movie Angels shows a pretty girl with an attractive body. Those who saw her in burning clothes and who caught everyone's attention from the start were not only engaged by her superb acts and also interested in her unique style, but not everyone loved Jean Harlow's style. At the time, critics said she had a bad sense of many times, saying that Jean only depended on her looks and didn't have much acting talent. Some people even said that she shouldn't try to become an actress, but Jean doesn't give up easily. She's shown the world that she has shown that she is not only beautiful but also a good actor in old movies like Red-Headed Woman, Wife, and Secretary Slander Woman and The Girl from Missouri. She has always come up with new ideas for and built her career despite a lot of criticism. This is one of the things that makes Jean Harlow a memorable figure and people love about her is that she always knows how to make scenes in her movies unforgettable. Not only because of how beautiful she is, but also because of how confident she is and how smart she is. She lives her life off screen, too, and she does everything she does on screen. But she does it with love and passion in her heart. On June 7, 1937, Jean Harlow died of kidney failure, which was a quick and sad end to her life. In the hospital at age 26, leaving her friends very sad. There are many stories about how she died, and one of the most common ones is that her Christian Science practicing mother did not letting her see a doctor in time made Jean suffer until she got sick. When things got worse, she was taken to the hospital. Some people think that Jean Harlow, even though she turned down surgery and other medical care, her death was still a huge loss for American cinema. Was buried in the pink nightgown she wore in the movie Saratoga, which made her look sweet and classy. Was a letter from her boyfriend William Powell that said, "Good night, my love." This story made everyone laugh. I got choked up because it was not only the end of a loved marriage, but also the end of a star and a legend who will live on. Even though Jean Harlow died too soon, she will always be remembered in the hearts of those who loved her. She was a strong woman, and her friends will always remember that. Jean Harlow showed that she had courage by expressing herself and living her love to the fullest. That you don't have to live a long time to become famous, all you have to do is live your life beautifully and honestly. It all began at a Paramount party in 1957, where two famous stars, Sophia Llewellyn and Jane Mansfield, showed up together. It wasn't like any other party. This was an event with a surprise from Jane Mansfield. She not only came to honor Sophia's work, but she also planned the party. Hotter than ever in a sexy satin dress with no back, and Sophia Loren's the way she felt when she saw this dress made her so scared that she couldn't concentrate on anything else. Jane's bust Sophia drew in a beauty known for being hot and classy. She was scared when she saw a coworker walk into the party room wearing a dress that looked like it was going to blow up any second, she told me. My eyes were stuck on her breasts. They scared me that they would fall on my plate. This event is often wrongly seen as the cause of disagreement between the two stars. Sophia has always claimed that there was no bad blood between them. Was pretty and that she didn't mean any harm. She was just shocked by Jane's. All eyes were on Jane at the party, but she didn't act brave. Don't miss the chance to make a memorable welcome by going straight to Sophia and her friend Clinton Webb's table. Bringing a unique look from her bust, when Jane showed up, everything went crazy, and the sound of cameras from photographers kept yelling that they couldn't miss this important moment. Sophia said that when she saw Jane, I couldn't take her eyes off the dress, and she thought she was going to pass out. She was afraid it would come off at any moment. The picture of Sophia's scared face as she spills everything on the table has become a part of this. Fans will never forget that scene, so it's important to bring it up. Even though Sophia Loren was asked to sign this popular picture a lot of times, she said she didn't want to be a part of that event, possibly out of respect for Jane or for some other reason. Two big stars show respect for each other in a quiet but important way. One thing that will never be forgotten about Jane Mansfield is her marks. Sexy beauty, but also for being brave and having a great playing career. Though Jane's life wasn't always easy and had many ups and downs, she is still seen as a sign of freedom. She was the first well-known actress to appear on screen fully naked. In the movie promises that 1963 will be the start of a new age, and even though Jane Mansfield died in a terrible car crash in 1967, she is still remembered in the movie business. People will remember her not only for how beautiful she was, but also for how brave and free-spirited she lived and how impressive parts on screen, from the 1957 party dress with no back made of satin to the at important times in her work. Jane Mansfield always knew how to get people's attention and make unforgettable because of these stories. Every time we talk about this famous picture, we don't just think of Sophia Loren and Jane Mansfield. Hollywood has a long and interesting past, and its stars always know how to turn up the party in their own way. This Farrah Tapp is one of Hollywood's Farrah Fawcett brightest stars, will always be known for the striking picture she took in a bright red swimsuit, but she didn't become famous because of that. She became famous not only because of her beauty, but also because of how well she could act and how unique she was as a person. As Jill Monroe on the hit TV show Charlie Angels in 1976, she became a cultural icon. In an interesting when asked about it, Farrah said she thought that the show's success was due in large part to the fact that none of the three angels had to wear bras. In fact, the Charlie's Angels' cool sportswear made them stand out. Eye-catching looks that helped them win people's hearts, but that would be a mistake. Think that Farrah's fame was just because of her hot swimsuits. Wasn't just as she was a beauty queen, but she was also a great actress who played memorable parts in movies like The Burning Bed and The Cannonball Run. Man of the House in Logan's Run, but the famous picture of Mark Farrah may be the most famous work he has ever done. Her in a red one-piece swimsuit, which was a work of art at the time and is still one of the best-selling. I think the story behind this picture is also very interesting. Farrah did not use a mirror to style her hair and makeup. She counted on her inspiration to make her look perfect. Then she had to pick 6 shots from 40, and everyone looked at the ones she chose. She became an overnight icon. Millions of young boys across the country who have posters in their rooms, and most likely, you've seen this picture at least once in your life. Farrah is not only pretty and smart, but she is also a strong woman whose life is full of problems. Even though she had a great job, she also had a lot of problems with the pain in her relationships. From a rough home life to heartbreaking health problems, she fought anal cancer. Farrah fought for many years and never gave up. She died on June 25, 2009, at the age of Mark will always be remembered by the people who saw and heard her at age 62. Though Farrah is no longer with us, she lives on in the wonderful memories and pictures she left behind. In 2011 Men's it was named one of the 100 hottest women of all time by Men's Health, which shows how attractive she is. Star not just because she is pretty or because of her famous swimsuits, but also because she is strong and passionate. A woman who makes people remember her all the time. The lovely Christine was born on July 12, 1943, in the village of Greenwood Lanier. She grew up in Bearwood Smith, near Birmingham, and had a colorful and artistic youth. Perfect Abel is the daughter of Sir Percy Abel and Beatrice Ma. She is a stage violinist and music teacher. Christine was introduced to music from a young age. She learned to play the piano. She began taking lessons when she was 4, but didn't really get into it until she was 11, when a singer friend of her brother sparked her love of music. She learned classical music until she was 15, but then switched to rock and roll. When her brother brought home a Fat Domino song book. The talented girl with an artistic soul started her journey at Moseley School of Art in Birmingham. After 5 years of hard work and study to become an art, Christine met the love of her life here, both as a teacher and in the music world. They asked her to join the band Sounds of Blue, just like Stan Webb and Andy Sylvester did, but she couldn't. The band couldn't keep going until she finished, and that was the fateful moment. Christine chose to move to London and live a free life with all sorts of strange people. She had jobs, but her life changed when old friends asked her to join Chicken Shay, a band that needed a pianist. Caliber, she was not only a great pianist but also a great backup singer. Writing Christine's strong voice helped Chicken get the hit song, It's Okay With Me Baby. Her cover of Ed James's, I'd Rather Go Blind, won her a lot of friends. And Lindsay's very much the same way. I've always thought the most good thing Christine got the Melody Maker Award twice, in 1969 and 1970, for being the best British female singer. But then something happened that changed Christine's life, but life is full of Christine shocked everyone when she quit Chicken Chic to begin a new and exciting journey in her music and life. Has never been the same since Stan Webb's bluesy guitar and MV's powerful singing hit the stage together. Fans have been looking for since she left in 1969, but it's been tough to find a. Paul Raymond from Plastic Penny was hired to fill in for MC in the band, but the group quickly broke up. Christine McVie, a smart and charming woman, became one of the most important members of Fleetwood Mac after getting married to John McVie and joining the band in 1970. Her album Christine Perfect when Peter Green first made a name for herself as a single artist. Christine took over as keyboardist, lead singer, and producer after the band's members left. She quickly made a name for herself with the album Future Games 1971 and continued to make a big difference in the Fleetwood Mac's 1975 record with the songs Over My Head and Say You was a big hit. There were reports in 1977 that the song Love Me and Rumors would be a hit. The ballad Songbird's soft piano melody became her trademark. Christine not only helped make the band's hits, like Hold Me and Little Lies, but it also Mac's spirit together when things got tough. MCV is still a musical celebrity around the world, even though she took a short break from the band because she was afraid of flying. Leave a review below telling us what you think about our videos, and don't forget to subscribe for more. I loved her dance, and she wanted to play. She also wanted to be one of the guys that guys looked up to. You should know that Christine McVie married John McVie in 1968 with instead of going on a vacation, Peter Green was the best man at the wedding. A hotel in Birmingham with Joe Cocker, who was there before they continued their tour with Fleetwood Mac, even though Christine and John McVie got divorced in 1976, but they stayed friends and worked together. They worked together professionally while making the Rumours album, and Christine was seeing Fleetwood Mac's lighting engineer Curry Grant, who gave her the idea for the song, You Make Loving Fun from She Went Out with Dennis Wilson of the Beach Boys from 1979 to 1982. In 1986, Christine got married. Eddie Quinta, a Portuguese singer and keyboardist, worked with them on a number of songs, including Little in Lies before they got divorced in 2003. Quinta died in 2020. Christine McVie really hit new heights in terms of fame and money after the album report spread. She bought a fancy car with the money right away, but the story doesn't go that way. That was it. Christine wanted to drive this fancy car off the lot herself, but it wasn't as romantic as she thought it would be. Christine sold the car in the end and chose a smaller, easier one, just like she had planned to drive one, but her fear of flying was much worse than her fear of expensive cars. That's why in 1998, she left Fleetwood Mac. Yes, you heard that right. Christine McVie didn't fly, so she lived a quiet life in Kent, England, for 15 years. Stevie Nicks wondered if she was okay when she was out of the spotlight cooking, gardening, and walking her dog. Christine would ever play music again after a 16-year break. Christine released the record Without Warning in 2004 as a collaboration with her nephew Dan. It came as a big surprise. Christine had been pretty private before 2012, but from that year on she went to therapy to deal with her fear of flying and finally got over it. On a trip to